Good evening. Welcome to our first town hall in the middle of our first pandemic. Thank you for taking the time to be here with me tonight. I know that time is a valuable commodity as we stretch ourselves to make the best of this unsettling experience and make time for our families, our kids, our jobs, our life. The reopening plan, that's the topic tonight. My senior staff is also here with me tonight. I'd like to introduce Mr. Emilio DeAndre, our business administrator, Dr. Kalisha Morgan, the assistant superintendent for equity, curriculum, and instruction, Mr. Damon Cooper, the director of personnel, Dr. Felice Harrison Crawford, director of operations and school support services, Mr. Tom Santigato, director of pupil services, Mr. Chris Graber, director of technology, Ms. Betty Strauss, district nursing supervisor. This team represents a part of the many stakeholders that have been working side by side, day by day, and really minute by minute to design our next steps. Thank you, team, for being here with me tonight. And thank you to all the stakeholders that have been working tirelessly. Reopening plans in this fluid, ever-changing environment are challenging at best. Everything we are doing is contingent upon supporting the health and safety of our students and staff. And I am committed to doing so. We begin this effort of designing a reopening structure with the collaboration of many stakeholders, with the goal of bringing all students to school as much as possible with safety measures in place. This included wearing personal protective equipment, regular cleaning and sanitation of all facilities, hand hygiene, classroom layout design for 6 feet of social distancing, and proper ventilation in our facilities. Based on the information that has been communicated to me by my team, it is my judgment that we need to begin the school year in a fully remote model. Again, based on the information that's been communicated to me by my team, it is my judgment that we need to begin the school year in a fully remote model. Although it is my understanding that our ventilation system is adequate and appropriate for a typical school year, this clearly is not a typical school year. My determination, however, is based on the current information regarding the ventilation systems in all of our buildings. We need to make some changes to address the enhanced needs that this viral pandemic presents. We are working diligently with our architect and engineers to enhance our building ventilation systems where needed in response to COVID-19. I will be monitoring the work that needs to be done safely to resume in-person instruction in our buildings. As soon as possible and reasonably able to determine the time frame required to remedy this situation, I will provide dates and deadlines about this work not only to the public, but also to the New Jersey Department of Education. This decision weighs heavy on my heart. I know that children and families alike were anticipating a return to school in some form. We're waiting for normal routines. I've seen the emails. I've read the emails. Sadly, this decision must be made in the interest of health and safety. Remote learning will be rigorous. The spring taught us lessons. We have used this time to evaluate our methods of instruction and prepare for a live instruction that is standardized across grades and schools. We are talking to teachers and parents and asking questions about their experiences with remote learning, like what went well, what did not go well, And what do we need? We are redesigning virtual learning, and I want to emphasize that it will definitely include real interaction between students and teachers. Professional development will be rich and plentiful so that our teachers begin school with a toolbox full of fresh ideas and proven strategies for engaging students in a meaningful way. We're extending the start of school for students to September 10th to give us 4 days at the beginning of September for training professional development. This professional development will continue throughout the year to refocus and analyze to ensure teachers, students, and families have the support they need. Our parent university, which will be rolled out in September, will host resources and how-tos for our families to help them with remote learning, as well as practical tips for handling the daily stressors of this new normal. We're looking out for social and emotional well-being of our students, teachers, and families with our counselors and child study team members who will be ready to support and assist where needed. Rest assured that while we're going fully remote this September, we're proceeding with all of our plans for hybrid model. We're not abandoning the hybrid option, but are continuing to perfect the logistics so we're ready to spring into action when the time is right and when the time is safe. We will be planning for the transition back to the classrooms with action plans ready when needed. Your children will be placed in a Mountie or Bulldog group early next week if you choose the hybrid model for when we are ready to go in person. We are working to remediate our facilities and keep our eyes closely on all safety factors. We have all our supplies of PPE ready, and our thermometers are ready. This is an emotional time, and I realize that some families will welcome this change and others will not. It simply comes down to looking at the facts and keeping safety as the first priority at the forefront always. The district is also keenly aware of the hardships of many of our families when it comes to childcare. We will have more details on how to get help through programs such as the YMCA. We will also continue to serve breakfast and lunch meals to students eligible for free and reduced meals, and details of that will be on my upcoming updates. In order to best prepare the community for what the future may hold, I will continue to share updates and more details regarding teaching and learning. We will alleviate our logistical roadblocks. Again, we will alleviate our logistical roadblocks. You may continue to communicate with me. I am listening. My team is listening. You will please continue to communicate with me. I am listening. My team is listening. We're going to offer a robust schedule. We're going to get through this together. I'll repeat this again. We will get through this together. As I said in many of my talks with many of you, I firmly believe that all kids can learn and that all kids are special. This will be our reality in Montclair. Have a wonderful evening and good night.